Behind the locked doors in the year 2025, there was a room in the heart of the Vatican that no visitor had ever seen. Archivum Secretum Apostolicum Vaticanum, the Vatican's secret archives. Officially, they claimed it was accessible to qualified researchers. But everyone who worked there knew. Some documents were never meant to see the light of day. Francesco Bellini, 37, was a paleography expert and theologian. He worked for the Vatican, but his faith had grown thin. He didn't resent God as silence. He resented humanity as muteness in the face of it. That day, he was handed a sealed relic never before touched. Inside a narrow wooden box was a single parchment wrapped in aged leather. It was written in blood. Only one line was fully legible. Nahar-Ilun, he who exists through the forgetting of names. From Francesco's personal notes. The letters aren't from any known script, and yet they feel older than language. The blood is dry, but the writing is alive. I felt watched, as though something beneath a river was staring back, broken, silent, waiting. That night, Vatican security footage captured a sudden burst of light at 3:16 a.m. No one appeared on camera, only a faint whisper was recorded. "You remembered me." By morning, Francesco was gone, his office untouched, his computer still open. One Word document was left behind, blinking on screen. A single sentence was typed, "You cannot pray to him because your voice wakes his silence." The voice of the prayer. There is a tradition in the Vatican. Some documents are never burned, because they do not burn. They are only hidden. After Francesco's disappearance, the room where the blood-written parchment was found was sealed off. But 2 days later, the vice president of the archives, Cardinal Leone, requested to reopen it under the pretense of restoration and classification. That day, the prayer returned. But not from lips. It came from the walls, from between the shelves, and finally, from stone. The sound wasn't a voice, it was a vibration, deep and old. The world wasn't echoing a message. The world was the message. Secret recording, Cardinal Leone's voice log. I couldn't read a single word, and yet I understood all of them. I closed my eyes and saw the prayer in my mind, as if I had always known it, as if I knew it before I was even born. This is not a prayer, it's a ritual of awakening. That night, 3 separate churches inside Vatican grounds lost power simultaneously. Windows fogged with a thick white mist. Only one place remained lit, the Sanctum Petri catacombs. There, deep beneath the holy marble, an archive worker was found unconscious, eyes wide open, unseeing, skin flushed red, lips trembling, though silent. But the motion of his mouth unmistakably formed a word. Nahar-Ilun. The Pope's private secretary received an email. No sender, no subject, just a message. To remember him is not to summon him, but remembrance is enough. You remembered. When symbols shift, so does the prayer for centuries. The Vatican has archived countless prayers. But this one, it predated language itself, and every attempt to translate it caused the symbols to rewrite themselves. The prayer was not fixed. It evolved. Each shift in symbol brought a shift in meaning, and every new meaning became a new invocation. Journal of Dr. Luciana Ferre, linguist, Restricted Archive Division. These aren't Latin, not Aramaic. These symbols, they're not written, they're breathing. When I look at them, they shift, as if I'm being tested. One word had 3 meanings. First, to remember. Second, to awaken. Third, to reborn. That night, Dr. Ferre attempted to digitize the parchment. The scanner worked. The file saved. But the symbols continued to move inside the PDF. Then, without being typed, this sentence appeared on screen. As long as you look, I change. But when you forget, I remember. Meanwhile, security cameras caught a disturbing image. At the end of a dim hallway, someone stood. He looked like Father Francesco, but didn't move, didn't blink. The guard watching the footage began to bleed from his ears. Before collapsing, he whispered, "He came, but wasn't summoned. He just wasn't forgotten." Closing line for this chapter. Gods are called with prayer, but he takes form through thought. What appears in stone, the silence in the Vatican archive was no longer just unsettling. It had become dense, as if something buried for thousands of years was now shifting within everything it touched. Shadows appeared on walls without any source of light. Floor tiles began to crack, not from pressure, but from within. But the cracks weren't random. A pattern was forming. The prayer was writing itself, not in ink, not in blood, in stone. Report from Dr. Ferre before psychological evaluation. I no longer dream only of voices. Now, I see symbols, the same ones, over and over. I wake up and feel compelled to draw them. But the terrifying part? They're already there, on my wall, before I touch the pen. Around the Vatican, personnel began scribbling phrases they couldn't explain. In Latin, unus in oblivion; in Arabic, unutulan ichindatekolan, the one within the forgotten; in Sanskrit, Nahar-Ilun, different alphabets, same invocation. The prayer was speaking through them now, not with words, but with need. A priest approaches a cracked wall. The camera remains still. Cracks twitch. The shape of letters emerge. The priest's pupils dilate. He whispers, "This wasn't made by any hand." Dr. Ferre finds a message on her bathroom mirror, written in fog, in a hand that is not her own. "Even if you don't write me, I will." Below it, a symbol, the eye of Nahar-Ilun. Don't pray, just think. There were no more prayers inside the Vatican, not because faith had died, but because everyone was thinking the same thing. Nahar-Ilun. The name seeped into minds, shaped itself through thought, and gained form without needing words. 3 archivists, in separate rooms, reported the exact same nightmare one night. Each described it the same way. It wasn't looking at me, but I felt it watching from inside me. Final audio log by Dr. Ferre. Nahar-Ilun isn't speaking to me anymore. I'm speaking to him, not with words, but with thoughts. Sometimes, before I even finish a thought, a shape appears. Not an answer, a response in form. A priest stares into a mirror. The reflection lags by half a second. Then, the reflection moves on its own, leans forward and whispers, "They no longer worship me. They merge with me." That night, certain chambers of the Vatican are sealed, but dry whispers are still heard within. No footprints on the stone floors, only a shadow. And the shadow moves. The prayer is no longer a ritual. It is a thought virus, and it's spreading through dreams, memories, mirrors, and screens. You remember now, don't you? No one ever found Dr. Luciana Ferre again. Her last known location, Vatican Sublevel Chamber 9B. But security footage showed nothing, except one thing, a figure etched into the stone wall, and that figure bore Luciana's face. Final digital entry on the Vatican's internal servers. No known sender, no access log, only a message. Prayers are no longer made of words. The one who prays is no longer mouth, but thought and gaze. That night, 5 staff members suffered simultaneous neurological seizures. Each began scribbling symbols, identical in form, but in different languages. One of them, with trembling hands, managed to write on the wall, "You remembered me. Now I remember you." The screen is pure black. A whisper breaks the silence. By watching this video, the prayer has been completed. A red symbol flashes on screen, the eye of Nahar-Ilun. Then, total darkness. A final sentence appears. You remember now, don't you? Subscribe. Because silence is heavier when it's shared, and like this video so others may awaken.